day. My name is Christian Jester Suson, Figueroa Clitzel, Gulpo Archie, Cabubas Daniel, Arvis Tricia, Gorgonia James, Villapanda Jasmine, Talaman Rachel, De La Cruz Riza, Lacap Jacqueline, and Palmero Princess are with me today to present our research, titled An Analysis on the Perceptions of Students in Accountancy, Business and Management Strand in Cooperative Learning and Engagement, How It Affects Their Learning Performance. Knowing a student's learning performance is essential for determining whether or not the student is receiving a high-quality education. Teachers make a major contribution to student learning performance since the teaching approach or strategy of the teacher can influence students' learning performance. They apply various approaches for ideas to help learners gain a better understanding of their subject matter. The various strategies have varying effects of student learning performance. Cooperative learning is one of the educational approaches that can be used. Teachers manage students' interactions and prepare them for cooperation. In cooperative learning, so that students work together in small groups to support each other's learning process. Many researchers conducted about the effects of cooperative learning to the academic performance of a student. According to the study of Trung and Truong 2023, they performed a review of 84 published papers related to cooperative learning worldwide. The research they conducted results showed the benefits of cooperative learning in motivating students, improving learning outcomes, and developing skills of students. Then, there's a research study conducted in Vietnam, examines the impacts of cooperative learning on the motivation for 72 second-year Vietnamese higher education students. The outcome of the study demonstrated significant higher learning motivation in the group that applied cooperative learning than the group that didn't apply this method. Then there's research in Bacoor, a study conducted among Bacoor National High School students. This study identified the level of quality of cooperative learning strategies inside the classroom and suggested. The result of the study showed that it is strongly advised to utilize cooperative learning strategies to strengthen the evaluation phase of the process when employed in classroom learning, Andrews 2022. The researchers decided to conduct this study on MNH's Kamaya campus to see if the students in the school helps their learning performance improve or not through cooperative learning by analyzing their perceptions based on what they had experienced. The researchers have main 4 goals. The first one is to have a discussion about cooperative learning based on the students' experiences. The second goal is to find out the views of ABM students toward cooperative learning and engagement as a way of learning. Next is to understand and analyze how cooperative learning contributes to students' academic learning performance. Lastly, based on the ideas from the participants, the researchers intend to provide an improvement plan to further improve this teaching technique.
So continuing presenting this research, my name is Archie Gulpo and I'm here to discuss the statement of the problem. The main thrust is to analyze the factors affecting accountancy, business and management students in Maribeles National High School, Kamaya Campus, learning performance through cooperative learning and engagement. The study seeks to answer the following questions. 1. How students describe their learning experience with cooperative learning. In this question, the researcher seeks to understand the learning experience of the ABM students through cooperative learning, and the findings in this question will help the researcher to better reach a conclusion. This includes their preference as to whether they prefer learning cooperatively or not. Furthermore, hearing their experience will also let us know what are the possible factors that affects the ABM students' learning performance through cooperative learning. Next is how important for the students in ABM stand in MNHS Kamaya Campus having cooperative learning as one of the methods of their teachers in teaching. Next, in this second question, where the researcher tends to know the importance of cooperative learning and whether it is important as a part of their learning method as an ABM students by hearing their own opinion. Do they want and put more importance in learning cooperatively or learning by themselves? And next is how cooperative learning and engagement benefits the students in ABM Strand in MNHS Kamaya campus. The next question is to know whether the students of ABM Strand in MNHS Kamaya benefits from the cooperative learning and engagement or do they not? And the researcher will further know the specific benefits of ABM students using the cooperative learning and engagement. Lastly is how could the cooperative learning and engagement affect students' learning performance is in terms of grades, group participation, and gaining new knowledge. And as for the last question, the researcher seeks answers as to how cooperative learning affects student learning performance. This is in terms of the following, specifically in their grades, group participation, and gaining new knowledge. The researcher will find whether they learn many things using the cooperative learning method. And the next part is the scope and delimitation that will be discussed by Miss Princess Palmero.
Good morning everyone, my name is Princess G. Palmero and I will discuss the scope and delimitations. This research focuses on the perceptions and recommendation of students in ABM Strand in cooperative learning and engagement and how it affects their learning performance. This study's participants are both grade 11 and grade 12 ABM students only in Maribeles National High School, Kamaya campus. The data will be collected through interviews with the selected participants during the school year 2022 to 2023. The study's delimitations are set and amplitudes that it may not be applicable to students who are not included in the EBM strand.
It's Gorgonia, and I will discuss the significance of study of this research. This research study aims to help different organizations and institutions to give more knowledge to individuals and some particular people in their profession. This research consists of 4 major significant studies. The first one is students. They will gain a better knowledge of how to advance as students thanks to this research. In order for students to understand how it influences their learning performance, it will serve a guide to assist them broaden their perspective and abilities in cooperative learning and participation. Next is teachers. They will be aware of how their instructional strategy, particularly cooperative learning and engagement, impacts the academic success of their students. Next is readers. In order for readers to understand this subject or topic, this study can give them a manual on cooperative learning and engagement as well as how it affected students' learning performance. And the last is future researcher. Those who wish to understand take additional research on this subject may utilize the findings of this study as starting point. The findings of this study could inspire more concrete research in this future.
I'm Risa de la Cruz, and I will discuss the 7 definitions of terms that the researchers use in the research. First, cooperative learning is like what students do when there are projects like we are doing, joining a group to help do a project or activity that their teachers has done. Next is perception is an example of organizing details or analyzing that is obtained from the environment or surrounding you to create an experience. Next is the learning performance of a student to use the newly acquired knowledge or skills learned before. Next is evidence-based learning refers to method based on evidence that have been proven to be effective. Often in education, this proof is the product of studies as students do whenever they need to do a survey. They need documentation or pictures that need to be passed to the leader to be shown to their teacher who made you do it. Informal cooperative learning is random groups of 2 to 4 students work together in a class for a short period of time, usually up to 1 class hour, to answer questions or respond to those given by teachers. For example, of days when teachers are suddenly asked to do an activity that needs to be finished immediately at the time set. Next is the construction controversy. It's based on the concept that conversation can provide a useful starting point for understanding a difficult topic.
And I'm Clitzel S. Figueroa. Now we will proceed to Chapter 2. Chapter 2 include theoretical framework, related literature, and the last one is conceptual framework. And in this part of this research, I will discuss the theoretical framework. First, I would like to inform you that the researchers in this study have focused on examining the importance of various theories that support the study of students in the accountancy, business, and management strand. The researcher also specifically investigate the students' perceptions of cooperative learning and engagement and how these affect their learning performance. The study incorporates 6 theories to provide a theoretical framework for the research. And the first one is social constructivism, collaborative learning theory, communication accommodation theory, social learning theory, structure process outcome, and the last one is social interdependence theory. The first theory is cooperative learning. It is the foundation of the study, where the small group of students collaborate in a way that their individual success is dependent on the success of the group as a whole. In this approach, students work together in the classroom to optimize their own learning. And the next one is social constructivism theory. This theory emphasizes that learning is a collaborative process influenced by interactions with others, culture, and society. And according to Vygotsky, social constructivism, students acquire knowledge through social contact with parents, caregivers, instructors, and peers. They receive guidance, feedback, and engage in discussions, leading to the development of understanding and the advancement of knowledge. And the third one is collaborative learning theory. This highlights the importance of peer-to-peer learning in promoting critical thinking and the development of leadership, self-management, oral communication, and higher-level cognitive abilities. Both cooperative and collaborative learning different from traditional teaching methods as they require students to work together in groups or teams to accomplish tasks. So next is communication accommodation theory or CAT. It is a general framework for understanding how people modify their communication behavior during social interactions. In the context of this study, CAT emphasized the significance of student-to-student contact and engagement in the classroom. This theory also suggests that active student participation and effective communication positively impact learning outcomes. And the fifth theory is social learning theory. This theory, proposed by Albert Bandura, emphasized the role of observing, modeling, and imitating others' behaviors, attitudes, and emotional responses. Positive behavior and social modeling as well as constructive feedback are considered effective teaching strategies in this theory. Students also are more likely to replicate good behavior if they experience positive reinforcement. Next is structure process outcome. This theory, or also known as the Donabidian model, this examines the 3 elements of structure, process, and outcome. In the context of education, the focus is on the interaction between students and instructors and how it influences learning outcomes. By structuring learning objectives and promoting desired interaction processes, positive outcomes can be achieved. And the last one is social interdependence theory. This theory highlights the dynamic interdependence among group members and the influence it has on achieving shared objectives. This theory also suggests that group members' interdependence and their shared goals create a sense of tension that motivates them to work together. Cooperative learning is built upon this theory, and numerous research studies have validated its effectiveness in various educational contexts. And in summary, the researchers in this study draw upon multiple theories to explore the perceptions of students in the ABM strand regarding cooperative learning and engagements. These theories provide a comprehensive framework for understanding the social, cognitive, and motivational aspects that contribute to students' learning performance. By applying these theories, the study aims to shed light on effective teaching and learning strategies that can enhance educational outcomes in the ABM strand.
I will discuss the review of related literature. In this part of the research study, the studies and literature that are related to this research will be discussed. The studies and literature below is carefully selected to support this research, and it will also clarify the problems that were being worked on in order to discover a solution. The following are those relevant literature and studies in this research. Academic achievement is measured by students' outstanding performance in subject courses and the demonstration of learning outcomes. This is according to the study of Magulod 2019. He explains that academic achievement of a student can be assessed through performance, classroom assessments, assignments, outputs, and major examinations. The process of acquiring knowledge, such as improving the powers of reasoning and judgment, generally of preparing oneself for others intellectually for the future, is education, according kay Isa et al. 2020. Their study indicates that the method used in the process of acquiring knowledge greatly determines the extent at which the aim will be achieved. Based on the results study, obtained that teaching method has a great effect on students' academic performance. Teaching method are established patterns of behavior by teachers that take place concurrently or sequentially. They also stated that choosing specific teaching methods that best achieve course objectives is one of the most important decisions a teacher faces. And according to Samson 2019, he stated in his article that the teacher's teaching method will highly affect on how student will be motivated to learn. Thus, it through the creativity of the teacher in delivering the lesson in various ways can add up to the motivational elements of the student to do well within the classroom. And he also explained that teachers' knowledge of mixing the numerous teaching learning approaches will be of great help in making alternative teaching method that will suit the demands of the student in attaining the desired goal and goals for the curriculum. Cooperative learning is one method of teaching according to Lombardi 2019. This teaching method identified as both a crucial element of deep learning and the skill required for success in the 21st century, since the students need to be engaged in learning in a variety of ways. In her book, she defined cooperative learning as a learning and working together to accomplish shared goals of the student. And it is this sense of interdependence that motivate group members to help and support each others. According to Silahi and Huta Uruk 2020, they define cooperative learning emphasizes cooperation between students in groups. This is based on the idea that when students discuss a problem with another person, they are better able to identify and comprehend a concept of facts. Cooperative learning groups often have 4 to 6 members, and they are diversified in terms of academic ability, religious beliefs, gender identity, and ethnicity. The activities that the students engage in during cooperative learning as directed by the teacher include being active, finishing tasks in groups, explaining things to a group of friends, motivating the members of their group to participate fully, and conversing. Cooperative skills can be developed by improving communication and tasks allocation within a group by acting as an alternative method for teaching by promoting speech and social interaction, according to Hernandez and Boru 2018, Russell 2018.
I'm Rachel Ann Talaman and I will continue discussing the review of related literature. According to Cornell and Drew in 2023, cooperative learning is required method in 21st century that we need the teaching method usually positively affect the learning performance of the student of this executive properly. And according to the study of Rysen and Rousset, 2018, the previous research has been found instructional approach or also known as a cooperative learning reduce bullying and victimization among marginalized students. These were the challenging and planned curriculum methods of teaching show off, which is cooperative learning that has already shown beneficial things, like the development of rational and motivational and learning environments of students. And according to Cassie and McPhail, 2018, cooperative learning has considerable educational benefits, and according to Leo and Lipovetsky, 2021, it also include intrinsic motivation, positive attitude towards the subject, improve self-esteem, social support, and group cohesion and participation. And according to Han and Son, 2020, in overall cooperative learning environments are more engaging, appealing, and fun. They also tend to give the student more control and responsibility over their education, boost their perception and competence, and autonomy and significance improved learning objectives. According to Goffron and Ermawati, 2018 conclude from their study that cooperative learning is time-consuming and low-achieving students may not benefit cognitively from it is since it takes a large amount of time.
And for the conceptual framework, this research used input process outcome model since this is suitable for this research to show the process or the flow of the relationship between subjects' input, process, and outcome. It includes detailed instructions on how to conduct research to get a particular outcome. The researchers indicate the statement of the problem of the study as the input and intends to answer all these questions. For the process, where the researchers will handling out the questionnaires to the respondents of this research study, which is the grade 11 and grade 12 of ABM Strand in MNHS Kamaya campus. Finally, the output where the researchers will conclude the findings of this research and discuss the enhancement plan out of the suggestions gathered from the participants, which can further improve this teaching method. And that's the end for the chapter 2.
Good morning everyone, I am Jacqueline M. Lakap and now I will discuss the chapter 3. So in chapter 3, it includes the method and techniques. Second is the standard of the study, and lastly, the research instrument. So first, we will discuss the methods and techniques. The method in the study is to investigate the central problem of the research. A research strategy will be the framework of the study. Researcher will use the qualitative because it focuses on the obtaining data through open-ended and conversational communication. It is also sustainable in research because it only focuses on affecting the accountancy business and management, student learning through cooperative learning and engagement. Qualitative questionnaires are often-ended questions for those students so they can be able to answer it with their own words or opinions. And this study will be aimed to investigate the impact of cooperative learning and engagement to performances of the ABM strand. Phenomenology approach. Phenomenology is a sustainable research in this study because it is focuses on their individual subjective experiences and perceptions of the certain phenomenon. By using this kind of approach, research can be deeply explored with the participants' life experiences and to gain value to understand the cooperative learning and engagement and how it's affecting their learning outcomes in school. Phenomenology can also help them to their challenges that they may encounter in this learning environment. It is also can suggest a ways to address them. Then the researcher can be utilized the findings, the effective teaching strategies, and intervention that can enhance their learning outcomes.
After discussing the research method, I'm Daniel Cabubas and I will discuss the research technique. The research technique in this research study is convenient sampling technique. It is because the topic is about analysis on the perceptions of students in accountancy, business, and management, strand in cooperative learning and engagement, and how it affects their learning performance. So the researcher chose the participants that is very connected to this research study, which is ABM students only. And researchers chose this research technique because it's inexpensive, can collect data quickly, and fewer rules.
I'm Tricia May M. Arbis, and I'm going to discuss the respondents of the study. This study will include 20 randomly, both selected grade 11 and grade 12 ABM students that are attending in Marabeles National High School, Camaya Campus. And based on the study of Creswell and Creswell, year 2018, who estimate that 10 to 50 participants is sufficient depending on the research question and research. The researcher selected 10 respondents in both grade 11 and grade 12 students because it is stated in the scopes and delimitations that the participants are ABM students. The researcher will give enough time to the respondents to answer the question accurately. The response will likewise be kept since they contain personal information and opinions.
Good day everyone, I'm Jasmine Villapando and today I will discuss the research instrument. Questionnaire is the one that researcher choose to use in this research to make it easier to gather information to this research study. It used with some question that can be seen in the research topic. The following question will be asked in the questionnaire are, how would you describe cooperative learning from your own perspective based on your experience? Next is, how does it help you to have new knowledge and new learning skills based on the cooperative learning? And next is, what can you say about cooperative learning as the one methods of teaching ABM students and in what way you can show it? The next is, how cooperative learning and engagements affect your grades based on the scores that you get in the exam? And next is, how does cooperative learning helps you to improve your socialized skills? And the last one is, what can you suggest to make cooperative learning method more comfortable for students like you? Regarding on the research topic and how more it helps to every students of MNHS Camaya Campus and the strands of ABM students. So this will be the last part of chapter 3.